Welcome to CineQuest Video.
Sometime in the near future, a major earthquake will lay waste to the entire California coastline. From out of the rubble will rise a menace far more terrifying than the death and destruction. Surf Nazis.
Who rules the beaches?
Surfers rule!
Who rules the surfers?
The beautiful beaches, once the crown jewels of California, are now ruled by ruthless gangs. Only one person is powerful enough, daring enough, brave enough to stop them. Only one person can ensure that surf Nazis must die. She's tough.
I want to buy a gun. He's talking like trash, but I'm more interested in something that'll take the head off a honky at 20 pesos.
She's dangerous. She's all woman. She's Leroy's mama. And as long as she's alive, the surf Nazis must die. First, there was the Road Warrior. Then there was the Terminator. Now comes an action film of relentless excitement.
Taste some of Mama's home cooking, Ada.
See the film that is creating a tidal wave of action all over the world. See Surf Nazis Must Die.
Welcome to CineQuest Video, the podcast that delves deep into those VHS classics to the modern day format and beyond. Today we're going to be talking about a Troma Entertainment classic. Going with our, well, it is a classic in the Troma sense.
Okay.
Right? I use the word classic loosely. Right? It is Surf Nazis Must Die,
which makes Class of Nukem High appear to be Shakespeare.
Right. Yeah. There's.
as I was watching this, I was just like, wow. Class of Nukem High is really good compared to this movie.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
This movie came out in 1987, and this has an R rating. And actually, there were two versions I saw on Prime when I was trying to look for it. There's one that you had to purchase, and then one that was just available on Prime. The one that I saw was the R-rated version, and apparently there was an NC-17 version.
Holy shit, we should have invested.
I know. I was like, I think I'll go back at some point and watch that version because I'm kind of curious as to where that goes.
You drop more F-bombs. And
there's probably
more racial slurs, too.
More racial slurs, more sex.
Maybe one more pair of boobs. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Pretty boobless for a Troma film, actually.
This one had a runtime of an hour and 23 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As opposed to our Surf Ninjas episode, that was an hour and 27 minutes. Extra 4 minutes.
Yeah, it makes all the difference. It really does. I'll give it this one. This one has a great ending.
That's a pretty cool ending.
It really does.
Right off into the sunset, Ms. Washington. You go get them.
This movie pretty much, I don't know, like, as to when or where it's sandwiched in within the Troma Entertainment catalog, but Class of Nukem High, the last one we did, I think that was like 1988.
Oh, was it?
I think that's what.
I thought it was a 90s flick. Okay.
No way was that a fucking 90s flick. Are you kidding me?
Looking at this one, I can tell it's 80s.
I'm actually going back in my notes to see if there was 1986.
86, yeah.
There you go. There, I found it. I did not bother to look at who stars in this movie. Because there were a lot of no-name people in here. Probably people that were actually making the movie and just took parts, kind of like in Class of Nukem High. The director is Peter George. His other credits are Young Goodman Brown and Acapulco Heat. What? I don't know any of these fucking movies.
I'm sure those must be, just stellar films.
Hell is that? Okay, sure.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna do a Peter George series for the Quest.
So how do you want to start this one off? I mean,
well, I want to just talk about the synopsis real quick because I'd rather get that out of the way.
that'll take you all of 5
And then
seconds.
we just,
take me all of
then
5
we just
seconds.
Shit on it.
There's like a whole sentence in there, maybe.
Hold on, I'm trying to find this whole thing here. Well,
TikTok?
anyways,
Yeah, I thought you were ready for this, Ray.
I had the thing up on the fucking Google and stuff, but I could just, I guess, go off the top of my head. Basically, it's
about
there's an earthquake that hits LA on 8.6.
Yeah,
and
it kills
this movie,
like 80,000 people.
80,000 fucking people, and it's pretty much like a
homeless.
dystopia,
Right, a beach dystopia.
and there's a group of people called the surf Nazis who are taking over the beach.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
they are pretty much just causing havoc.
They are the
That's it.
conquerors of the new beach.
What does the guy say?
A fascist version of the beginning of the Warriors, because I mean the surf Nazis did try to like unite the various like
Yeah.
Real quick,
various other beach gangs.
the beach gangs.
Sorry, go ahead, Ray.
I just want to go into the names of the beach
Oh,
gangs.
you have them all?
We have the Pipeliners.
Yep.
The Samurai Surfers.
Yep.
The
Designers.
the Designer Waves.
The three Chads, you mean?
And the Skate Rats, which
The
are like the
Skate Rats.
younger kids who are on skateboards.
Did you memorize? Okay, you mention the Samurai Surfers?
Did I memorize? No, I didn't. I
Oh
wrote
my
those shit
God.
down.
The Samurai Surfers?
Yeah.
Okay.
And as far
Yeah.
as the surf Nazis are concerned, the persons who are involved in the surf Nazis are Adolf, which is the main guy,
Yeah.
also known as Ricky Johnson.
Yeah, he looks like
Oh, was it Simpson or Johnson?
Johnson.
Okay, word.
Ava, is it Mangala?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Mangala,
Mangala,
Hook,
yeah.
Brutus, and
Hook.
Smeg.
and Smeg.
I'm
Smeg.
Obviously,
almost certain it's short for Smegma.
Let's
I
give.
like how all these gangs only had like 4 or 5 members. Like the surf Nazis were the most like dominating, and there's also the biker gang that they interacted with too.
Yeah,
But I
don't
only
think
saw
they
like the one
They just called them the
biker
bikers,
gang.
right?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
And they had like one scene.
They did have. I did like that one scene where they all try to get together and have a meeting.
Right, we need to unite under the. Oh, that's so. What was it? I am the Führer of the new beach.
Yeah. Of Power Beach, White
That's
Power
right,
Beach.
Power Beach. Yeah, whatever you say, Hitler.
What
Freddie
did you
Mercury.
say? I think it was Brutus. Was it? He did have that kind of vibe to him. Roland, you said that guy named the guy Brutus, the one with the fucking
Oh,
duster.
he looked like fucking Mac from Always Sunny because he was wearing he had the leather duster and no shirt. The whole fucking movie. And at one point, he's like wearing suspenders. He was also the only guy in there with the closest thing to a gun, that fucking dart launcher or whatever the hell. Like
He was always like sitting on top, like
Yeah, it was a spear
he was just
gun,
perched
man.
on
The
top
spear
of like
gun,
close to
thank
the
you.
roof and just like
doing his target practice.
yeah.
And the other one was a Hook, sharpening his little toy and
Yeah.
sitting there, whatever, like a moron.
And I never understood like Mangala's position really, because he was like
He's the engineer.
the weaponsmith.
Yeah, the artist.
But then he was
art.
always like hanging out with them. So it's
you can't rush art. No.
He was an
yeah,
artist. He was an
he
artist,
made the
right?
switchboard.
The
which
switchboard
for our listeners, it
and
was
the hook.
a
Oh my
fucking
God.
surfboard that had a spring like knife blade at the end. It
And
was
so
fucking-
like, oh man, so when he had that, I was like, oh cool, we're gonna see a fucking surfing scene where he's on the water and he just like runs into somebody. Nope, not
that
at all.
never happened. Yeah, I
No.
was waiting for that to fuck.
Never
when they were
happens.
trying to fight the samurai surfers.
Yeah, on the
like-
beach, and it's just him like waving the board around with the switchblade sticking out. So he's like trying to stab people with this fucking 10-foot board like an asshole. And then like later on they burn 2 of the boards, and I find out the other one is called the slicer, and the switchboard, and like Adolf gets like so pissed off. Oh my God, the slicer and the switchboard, the nerve of these guys. How could they? It's time for war. Like they just burned 2 of them.
I was really
It was
trying
funny
to.
when that fucking dude burned Ava. It was like, It's like, this wouldn't happen if you could stay in one place for 5 fucking minutes.
How dare you? Are you questioning my loyalty?
The exact quote is like slime
sucking Neanderthal.
Yeah.
How dare you question my loyalty?
Yeah.
But she pronounces
damn it.
Neanderthal, but I figured Roland would give me shit for not saying it
That's
properly.
right.
So
Very
I edited
good,
it.
sir. Very good.
I think when Adolf is giving one of his little speeches, he's like, it's all about sand.
Oh right,
It's
yeah.
fucking stupid.
And then he like he stabs the bag of sand and then takes out a little bit on the
This is
knife
about
and looks like for a
sand.
second
I
I
thought he was gonna
thought
snort it.
I thought he was gonna
Yeah.
snort it like it was coke. I was like, really, dude? No, he just pours it down like you're a fucking jackass. And when he's talking to them all about uniting the gangs and very soon we were gonna have Nazi battleships patrolling the coast. What are you talking about? You can't handle the power, Adolf.
I was just about to bring that part up. Like when all the gangs gathered together,
Yeah,
and he's like,
yeah.
that guy's like, you can. Like he's like so fucking dramatic about it. You can't handle the power.
He reminded
and then
me
that's
of
when
Charlie
Brutus is fucking
from
there, like
Always
with
Sunny,
the fucking gun,
with like his booty shorts or whatever the fuck he was wearing.
I think my favorite introduction of one of the gangs is the samurai surfers, when they all kind of like display their weaponry.
Oh right, the nunchucks, the fucking swords, and
It's hold on, I have it here. Asians, I didn't know their name at first, but like
Yeah.
the Asians demonstrate their respective weapons. One of them has the
Racist.
bow, the nunchuck, and then the swords. They
Yeah.
weren't like completely swords. They were like big
No.
knives. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they do this whole like
it was a
demonstration.
kotetsu,
They just
right?
do this
It was
whole
like a
demonstration.
Karate Kid scene.
Yeah.
basically,
Oh
like
yeah, that's
training
right. Of
montage.
them like
Almost
standing
like-
on a balcony somewhere, like in a silhouetted, doing their
Man,
warm-ups,
it looked like
doing
they
their
That
found
happened
the
twice in the
Asian,
movie. That happened fucking twice.
the only like Asian type of structure, and they like do their little
yeah,
training
there's a little
training there, and,
thing there,
and it just so
yeah.
happens to be on the beach too.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, what was one of the things? I'm trying to remember some of the stupidest things that. What was the girl's name? I called her Poison Arby or whatever because she
Poison
Ava.
she looked like an idiot.
Poison Arby, that's a good one.
She looked like a total douche. But at one point they were talking about having the meeting and she was like RSVP in blood.
RCP will be in blood for those who don't join us or whatever the fuck. Yeah, it was so stupid.
So edgy.
So going around with the storyline, so we find out that these
Or lack
ninjas,
thereof.
the lack of story.
The
Yeah.
beaches are carrying a lot more than umbrellas these days. It's an untapped resource.
So we have the gangs
Way to go, Nazi
that they're
Freddie
trying to
Mercury.
unite, and then within all this, they throw in a character named Leroy,
Oh yeah.
Which
He's in
some
like
kind of-
3
Leroy
scenes.
Washington.
Leroy Washington.
Who just has put his mom in a retirement home.
Yeah.
Like,
And she's giving a lot of shit to the nurses. And stuff.
Yeah.
That was-
That nurse,
yeah, she
that
doesn't,
nurse was a
she doesn't
total
drink their
bitch.
coffee. She doesn't drink their tea. She
Yeah.
doesn't eat their food. So I wonder how she's surviving because I love that scene where
When-
the nurse is bitching to that other nurse
Because they
about
can't
how
drug
Miss
her up. They're
Washington
like
is all-
Valium in the eggs and like Percodan
Oh, yeah,
in
just
the
sedate
coffee.
her.
Perks in the
Just sedate
eggs or
her.
whatever.
She won't.
Yeah.
She won't take
Or
any
perks
of it. Like you fucking bitches. You fucking fucks.
I was really trying to figure out why
Why they
this
had her
character
in
was
there.
just this Leroy character was thrown. It was just so like
Oh.
they could have that whole ending, you know?
Yeah,
Because I mean, there was
yeah.
no other way for them
He
to
was,
resolve
he's a plot
the other
device.
characters. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
he was
I
the
thought
reason-
Leroy was going to be the one who kind of like, pick
Yeah.
up the charge against like the surf Nazis.
And he tried to
it seemed
start
like it was
that,
that way.
and
Yeah,
nope.
and
Dead.
he gets fucking hooked.
Yeah, and then that's when Mrs. Washington decides to go Deathwish on everyone.
I want to buy a gun, one that takes the head off a honky
At 20
paces.
20 paces. Oh, I can tell you're serious, ma'am. Yeah. What is it before that? Yeah, that was Sly or whatever. I'm gonna call him Sly Stein. Are you
talking about Adolf?
No. The broker, the guy that
Oh,
owned the
okay,
store,
like-
the pawn shop guy.
word.
He
Tries to give her a ladies' gun. Or
he
whatever.
sounded like the shittiest Rick Moranis ever in existence kind of thing. Like when
Well, you see, Rick Moranis is busy making actual good movies.
Right,
so
there you
Troma
go.
guys just couldn't pull him in.
like, can you do this? Like, all right, yeah. Fucking best part of his scenes though is when he's first introduced and Adolf goes in there and is like trying to fleece him for cash or whatever the fuck. And he's like, what does he tell him? I was an economics major. Don't fuck with me. Like, okay, we've got a real badass here, folks. This guy's got a brain.
Daniel, I was talking to Roland that I had to rewind the movie a few times because like the shit that came out of his mouth, I really wasn't sure he said what he said. But that scene where he actually meets Leroy for the first time,
holy fuck, that was
and
racist as hell.
He shakes his hand.
You look like a white guy I knew, but you fell down a chimney or whatever.
Yeah.
I was just like, holy fuck.
Yeah, man. I was like, did he fucking just say that? I'd have to rewind it again. I was like, this motherfucker just said that shit. Oh my god.
And then he dies.
I'm trying to find a fucking budget for this movie because it was pretty readily available for Class Newcomb High. That was $400K, but I'm.
Oh no way! This one was anywhere near that. I mean, they shot it.
I would imagine it seemed a lot.
They shot it in like
cheaper.
3 places, right? Maybe 4. The beach.
And they were all like abandoned places.
Yeah,
too,
there was the beach. There was that busted ass air hangar. The retirement home, and I'm thinking of one more. I guess the bar, maybe
the bar, like for a scene.
Well,
maybe?
okay.
Yeah. What was surprising about the surf montages, which I was expecting to see them to just be
like
repeated,
crashing into
but
each
I
other.
did not see like a single part where it seemed like they just looped,
it wasn't stock
like
footage
of surfing.
yeah. No,
Like,
it was. Oh god,
I was thinking that maybe they actually used maybe some of the crew to do the surfing, because if you remember in Class of Newcomb High, was it the guy who had that fucking bicycle seat?
Was his name Bone or
something like that? Yeah, where he was the only one that could ride a motorcycle necessarily, so they just used him to do it.
Yeah.
So maybe they used some of the crew to do actual surfing.
Probably those were all like best grips or whatever.
Best boy grips, yeah, for sure, yeah.
But
yeah, that montage in the beach where the one that took the longest was when Adolf and Ava start fucking on the beach.
Oh man, it starts off all
they kept on cutting back to the surfers,
and then Smeg climbs up over the rocks.
Yeah,
I was expecting at one point. I swear he was about to like reach into his pants.
I know, dude. Right?
That's what we were saying.
I was
like
the NC-17 version, but
maybe I don't know. Like I was expecting that the whole time too. Like, what is he doing? Does he still have his pants on?
And he's just staring at him.
Okay.
He's just fucking staring at him the whole time.
Yeah, that happened.
But yeah, that's. I was telling Roland
cringe.
I was actually watching I was gonna watch the movie in my living room in my room, but then I was just like, the living room has a bigger TV,
what?
so I'll
I'm
just
gonna
watch it
play
there.
This
And then
room.
my mother decides to walk in right as the sex scene's happening. I was just like, oh shit.
Yeah, we're doing this.
Mind you, every time she looked at the TV, like it was the surfing scene.
Oh.
But she looked away, and then like you see Adolf fucking like over the Ava, and then again worried that fucking Smeg was gonna start jerking his dick right then. I was just like, man. I go as much as she comments on the shit that I watch already. I go, this is just gonna be extra weird.
Yeah.
I go, I might as well just be watching fucking Showgirls or something.
You could have changed the channel. Yeah.
Let me see what else goes on in this movie. As far as they kill Leroy, right?
Yeah.
So that's when Mama Washington tries to like exact
She goes-
as Roland says, goes all Deathwish.
Yeah.
Which that was
she buys
nice.
She buys fucking grenades from the goddamn pawn shop.
I can get grenades. Oh shit!
Grenades.
I really like Smeg's mom, dude. Like she was fucking funny as
Gregory.
fuck. Don't call me that.
That whole scene looked like a fucking after school special scene, like some kind of like teen who's just trying to find their way.
To fit in. This is my identity, Mom. They're the coolest gang.
The coolest gang around, Mom.
I still like how she lent him a few bucks when he's about to go off fucking around with like neo-Nazis.
Make sure you're back before dinner.
Before dinner, and yes, here's a few dollars that you can support the cause or something with.
Are you gonna go buy the drugs? Yes, all the drugs.
And at some, I'm sorry.
So another Troma movie where there was a weed smoking scene because like Hook was sitting there like
Oh,
puffing on
yeah.
a joint they attached to his hook or whatever. And Bruce's like,
No,
this isn't the time for that.
He's like,
then Bruce's like, Hook's like, don't be a pussy. Like, what
He goes,
the fuck?
this is the perfect time for that. Speaking of
with his bolo hat and
We're not really speaking of
fucking
that.
blazer.
we mentioned in past Troma episodes how Troma like kind of breaks certain stereotypes, and one of the
Make up all of their
stereotypes
own.
I had kind of come across was when Leroy was gonna go to the beach because he tells Mama Washinton, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the beach," and she's like, "Well, what are you gonna do over there?" "I'm gonna go swimming," and she was like kind of like freaked out about it. I was like, I know it's not gonna be racist, like in certain stereotypes, most black characters don't
Don't go
like
into
to
the water.
go swimming.
Yeah.
And then we had a strong
They
black
they
man
love
going
pool
to
parties,
go
but they don't get in the
swimming.
pool.
You know, breaking stereotypes again. Good on you,
And he
Troma.
didn't. He just went jogging.
He went jogging and then he got killed.
died. Yeah.
But apparently he swam like the day before because there
there
was
you go,
that,
see,
trip down memory lane when Mama Washington was like grieving over his casket, and it showed a scene of him like
that's
popping
right,
out
yeah.
to the beach.
He was
and
walking
fucking
into the
swam way
water.
the fuck out there.
That's true. Yeah,
I thought that was just like another metaphor for him dying because he's walking off into the water by himself. I was like, oh, okay. Symbolism. No, that's way too heavy-handed for this. This is. Yeah.
Well, I guess we have like two parts going on in this movie. We have the revenge that Mama Washington is going to take on the surf
And
Nazis
she fucks him
regarding
up. Oh, it's
the
great.
death of her son, and then we also have the quote unquote united gangs who want to turn on the surf Nazis
Right,
because
yeah.
they're
Yeah,
gaining
that
too
was
much power.
fucking cool, and it was
mean
like,
when they-
and of course they had to be surfing, but I was like, what a waste of energy.
Yeah.
They all like scope out how Adolf and Ava are sleeping on the beach, but they're like, the best way to go about this is if we go way out in the fucking water and surf our ways in,
and slowly
and
creep
then
on
try
them.
to ice them. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
you know, like when the samurai surfers actually get to the fucking shore and they're like walking up.
They get their asses
That guy
kicked.
throws him like the bow and shit, and then he does like the like cartwheel.
Oh right, Like, he like kicks the knife out of his hand or something.
He does the unnecessary.
Oh no, that
cartwheel
was
and
the
shit.
those were the designer wave dudes. That's right.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I was thinking of.
Well, like the samurai guys take a fucking
No, the
brutal
samurai
death
did
too.
that
Yeah.
little flip thing.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
did
do
the
you,
flip.
okay. So, do you remember when they were trying to sneak up on Adolf, and then Hook busts out of the trash can, and he's just like right
Throws the
behind him.
knife
There's
in
like
the
a trash
guy's
can there,
back.
"Bah!" And then so the
pipliners
are
are
like,
like,
where did he? Hook came out of
Nowhere,
nowhere, man.
nowhere. It's like, dude, he was in the trash can.
Like,
You fucking
get
just
the
saw
fuck
what
out
happened.
of here, man! You morons! You deserve to die.
And really, like, they fucked up because they're sitting there monitoring the whole situation.
They could have
and
gone in there,
Hook
too.
had to get into the fucking trash can at some point. So, like,
Right?
the samurai, like, surfers could have probably totally
Just
seen this guy,
fucking
like,
sucked.
oh, I know what it was. He had a cloaking field.
Oh yeah,
Because he was doing like the stereotypical like tiptoe act when you're sneaking in a cartoon. It just
oh yeah, you could be looking right at him and you won't see shit. That's right, because he's silent. Get the fuck out of here.
The death scenes were pretty
Fucking-
cool. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, they were, I mean, considering it's a cheap ass
Who
movie.
should we
like,
start with?
well, like when the like Ava like cuts the throat of the fucking
Oh yeah,
samurai guy.
Sort of. You see him slit his
Yeah,
neck or
that was
whatever.
pretty cool.
And then a lot of people get stabbed in the back. Or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
That's
like
the easiest way to fucking kill somebody.
They
yeah.
just throw a random like steak knife or whatever.
And who were the gang? Who was the gang that like got killed by like Mangala and those other dudes at the beach?
that
Just the
was-
designer
those are the
waves?
pipeliners,
The
man.
pipeliners? Okay.
No, it was also the
Yeah.
designer waves. The designer waves, that was Hook and Mangala on the beach.
Well,
Like, they
wait.
just-
Then who were the ones
The
that were in
dudes
the car?
that ran the assault on like
Those
the
are the
hangar,
pipeliners.
those are the pipeliners.
Pipelines. They
okay.
die after after Brutus gets splashed in the face with acid. That's when
And
Mangala and
becomes
Hook
useless
comes back.
to Adolf.
Yeah,
and gets
you're now
fucking-
useless to me. Die. Pfft, he just fucking shoots him with the spear gun. That was the best ever. So dumb. And then like that next scene when they're standing around the fire and Adolf is talking and he's like, Hook, what was your worst memory? And like the only backstory to him losing his hand or whatever, they just shit that out like in one or two sentences. Oh well, it would have to be like somewhere between when the shark bit my hand off
And then when I got the shark.
And then when I got the shark, we were like, what? You all right, whatever. And then, you know, the obligatory artist or whatever, suffering for his existence. What were your bad, you know, what was your worst time? They were all bad.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
So we have that, I guess, that part of the movie where the gangs are going after the surf Nazis, and then we have the second part, which is Mama Washinton going and taking revenge on the surf Nazis themselves.
And she does not waste any time.
Does not.
She's pretty accurate with fucking tossing grenades.
Yeah. Oh man, that endlessly rolling grenade or whatever. It was like 3.
Yeah, that should have blown up before it even got to
Yeah,
its,
the second she dropped
point.
it, but
She got it right next to fucking Hook.
Yeah,
randomly.
it just like rolls through 3 scenes and then just lands right next to his face.
Yeah, you have like Mangala come out after the explosion.
My neck.
Did you all see the boom mic that was in the screen, the shot?
No. Really?
It was like so visible.
Oh damn.
He's coming out of the fucking like wherever they're sleeping and shit. Is it the cave or?
Yeah.
And you see
The bunker,
to the top
whatever.
right corner, you see the boom mic just sitting right on the screen.
Fucking awesome.
That's funny.
That was really cool.
But to be super fair, I did not pay very much attention to this movie.
No.
Well, I mean, it's almost like
all
unnecessary
right,
too,
Facebook,
dude.
what do you
So
have going
bad.
on my phone? It's like, fuck this. Like,
Well, the thing is, like, I actually saw this movie first before watching Surf
Oh,
Ninjas because
no.
I was like, this one's gonna have to have my full attention,
No.
and it was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough.
I was glad I watched Surf Ninjas first because I was like, I remember this and I'm going to enjoy it. This next one, not so much, and it's probably going to suck. And it's like, yeah, okay, I could sort of softball this shit in there.
And
yeah, like I said, fuck.
Yeah.
just another quick trivia regarding the movie is that throughout the movie you see the swastika kind of change directions.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
But it means different things when
It
it,
means
does
different
it.
things when you do. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
when
movie
you
starts
flip
out
it.
with fucking children and like swastikas painted on their faces
Yeah.
and shit. Or they,
but I think it's on the shirts and like any kind of anytime they have it
live
like
by the blade,
like a
or some
banner or
shit.
something. Like it's always changing directions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did y'all
That's fucking
did
great.
y'all pay attention to any of the graffiti that was
Oh
like
man,
on
there was
the
a
walls?
lot of. What was one of
It
them?
was
Like
like-
hot beef injection to.
Well, it was necrophilia is giving hot beef injections to corpses or something like that. Yeah.
There was a few others. Oh, I can't remember them.
And then right next to hot beef injection, it said "dick," like by somebody else scribbling it in. Like they needed the fucking audience to have a fucking clue or something. That was so stupid.
So I did enjoy the death scenes of the actual surf Nazis from Mama Washington.
Yeah, so Mangala dies like a little bitch.
Yeah, he dies from the
Just,
grenades and stuff like
my
that.
neck. Hook is just like he blinks and he's gone.
Yeah,
I liked how what was her name?
Ava. Yeah,
dies.
But Ava got boated.
She got run the
Yeah.
fuck over and decapitated.
she got it almost like it just decapitated her fucking head. Like it
Her
almost
whole
like
body exploded.
Well, yeah, it pretty much like cut
and
off
it
all of her
destroyed
limbs
that
and shit.
surfboard
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It totally like just chopped her up into little pieces, and you just see
Yeah.
her head fucking floating down the fucking water.
It was super funny. I was just laughing my ass off because Mrs. Washington the whole time is just ha 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 ha.
Oh, real quick. After she fucking uses the grenades,
Uh-huh.
and they cut to her like fucking getting away.
Yeah.
and
Oh, she's just
she's
laughing.
like laughing on the motorcycle,
And they're chasing it. They start driving after her, and she's like, "Oh shit!"
and they take her motorcycle, and then she takes their fucking van.
Yeah.
And then as it ends, she's back on the motorcycle.
You know, when she's gonna kill Adolf, and
That
like
was the
they're
funniest thing.
actually driving the boat towards him. I'm like, why the fuck aren't they just gonna go over him again? Because like the guy's like going right by him, and then he happens to have a
A
knife.
knife. He just like
and he fucking
flicks it
throws
Yeah,
it.
he knifes the guy.
Nice,
Like-
fucking poor dude who's just like driving the fucking boat. You know?
Yeah, it's just a nobody that she took hostage. What did she say? Today's your lucky day, or some shit like that. I forgot. Like there's some dudes.
Oh, because they were
fishing.
fishing and they want to take the boat out. It's like,
Yeah.
well, it's your lucky day.
Yeah, it just shows up with a fucking gun pointed at their head.
I love the fucking taunting scene that she had when she's following, like chasing
She's
Ava,
chasing
and
Ava and-
through fucking junkyard. Like,
I'm your worst
I'm
nightmare.
your worst nightmare. Fuck yeah, lady.
All the horrible things that have been happening to you
Because of me.
because of me. Yeah.
And so it makes me think, like, did she like help like organize the gangs against Adolf? Like, they were already like pissed off.
I don't think so. Like,
No,
I think
that
that
would
would've
be
been
completely
dope.
separate, though.
I think it was her just fucking around. Like, yeah.
I mean, she had her own vendetta, but I mean, I don't think. What would she have to have said to the other fucking gangs to convince them to go against Adolf, other than the fact that he's kind of like hungry with power and shit, and trying to control?
Yeah,
them?
well, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it's not. So I'm just,
Goddamn, Jamie, you got
trying to help it
scarred.
along because
Yeah.
that was a big claim by Mama about how like all the bad things have been happening. It's because of me.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Adolf and Ava were like, did she organize the gangs against us? What the fuck is this lady about?
So the ending scene where she kills Adolf.
What she say? Time for what was it?
Have some of
Have some
Mama's
of
home
Mama's
cooking,
home
Adolf.
cooking.
Sticks the fucking gun in his mouth.
Oh, that was great.
Pulls the trigger.
As she's sitting there smoking like a swish or whatever,
Yeah.
and blood goes all over her face.
Yeah, I thought it was
She keeps
black and
puffing
mild.
on it. It was fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah, that was really fucking funny.
Yeah,
Just
I
sitting
mean,
there.
honestly, is there anything else to talk about? I mean, I feel like we've talked about every part of this movie.
I mean, let's
I just
see.
wish to know like the relevance of the bar scene though, because it was totally just like superfluous.
Anybody
I think it
want
was just a chance to get some tits out.
Or nobody wants to slam dance.
oh yeah, like the chick comes and then he just like pulls out her tits. I was like,
Yeah, and then the chick comes and fucking tells her to get the fuck out of there, and then he's like, "I thought you were at home with the kids."
Yeah. he leaves the bar to sit on another taller bar right next to it. And then in comes Poison Arby or whatever with her switchblade to take the VIG or whatever the fuck. Like, really, none of you guys, you're all bikers. None of you have guns. You just this
No,
chick
man.
just walks up to you and
they carry knives.
they had
shit,
that
man.
one weirdo with like a noose around his neck that was being led around.
You know, it's very rare that I've seen in the 80s where like any gangs have any sort of weaponry other than knives,
No.
and there's always like one person who has
Like
a fucking handgun
brick on a
them.
chain or something.
Maybe a handgun on them, you know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Even that movie I just referencing in my head is Tough Turf with James Spader. Like all the fucking gang just have a fucking knife, and then at the very end, the main villain get a fucking handgun.
Yeah.
Like no one never thinks to get a gun. They're like, we need to fucking fight with switchblades and shit.
Mrs. Washington gets that gun, and when she pulls it on Adolf and Ava, like as they're following her into the retirement home, they just fucking split the second they fucking see her. They're like, oh shit, yeah, old lady with a pistol, we're out of here. Like, fucking really? That was fast.
Okay, is there anything else you all need to add to this movie? I literally think we talked about every scene in this movie.
These guys spend all, I don't know, 70% of the movie walking around in swimsuits with swastika.
Hanging around in like a fire.
That's right.
On the beach,
yeah.
you know.
But then probably 45 minutes of the movie of the hour and 23 is surfing.
At one point, they look like they're roasting a taquache or some crap. And Ava's like trying to nibble on the end of it or something, like a fucking squirrel.
You know, yeah, Daniel.
It looked like they had like fucking like Spam or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Daniel, you did
gross.
make a good point that a lot of the time is spent with like just filming
Sitting
surfers and
around
stuff,
and sitting around
and
the
it's just
campfire.
like extra long. They're like, we need to make this movie
Yeah.
more than an
yeah,
hour.
they're
Let's
like,
just
we have
throw-
about 32 minutes of content, guy.
Just slow it down. Oh, so fucking annoying.
They go, and let's just throw in a sex scene for good measure, and then like cut to the surfers, then cut back to the sex scene, then come back to the
And then,
surfers,
like-
and cut back to Smeg, and cut back to
Exactly.
the surfers.
Smeg, I guess, was supposed to be the comic relief. Like when he tries to escape or whatever through his window, he's like,
Yeah, his
he
mom's
writes
like,
a note. And,
mister.
yeah, like
Mind
he
you,
writes
the
a
only
note.
the only member of the Nazi surfers who survives.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like he does not die.
I mean, they didn't kill any of the kids.
Oh yeah, well they weren't necessarily they're just a gang. Those are the
Yeah.
fucking the ears of the beach.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that ride the hard wave. Is that what they called it?
Some shit like that. But
The hard wave. Yeah.
so I thought it was funny how Smegma was writing that letter, and he's like, I'm sorry, I want to tell you this in person, Adolf, but I'm afraid you get mad at me. And he like rolls up the letter, and I'm thinking he's gonna like pass it off to someone to
Put
run
a
the
little
message
arrow or something.
Yeah, right. Like,
out towards the
like he's got a
beach.
bird or some shit, a carrier pigeon that he can send out there or whatever. It's like, what are you gonna fucking do with that? And I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
well, it's good that
so
your mom was
my
there
guess
because this
was
would have
that
been
he was
stupid.
going to run it over to Adolf and then just here's this
leave.
letter, sir.
Right.
Fuck off.
Yeah, and just fuck off before he could read it or whatever. And instead, the mom comes in and dispenses justice.
Promise not to read it before I'm gone.
Get back in bed. Oh, so dumb. I mean, she tucked him in and then fucking ran around the house outside and was like waiting for him or some shit.
I guess so, man.
That's how that would. I could imagine it if I had to.
Okay, I mean, so if you guys don't have anything else to add, we can go with ratings.
Oh, that's easy.
Okay, so remember,
So easy.
remember when we do Troma, there are 2 ratings. You have a Troma rating and you have a regular rating.
Oh, okay.
Whether they're not the same, I mean, that's up to you.
Yeah,
so,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to go with Daniel first on this one. Daniel, remember, you give us a Troma rating, then 1 out of 5, and then a regular
Yeah,
rating,
sure.
1 out of 5. Go ahead.
So I'm pretty sure my trauma rating for Class of Nukem High was pretty high. So I'm going to give, but even for a trauma movie, this movie made fucking Class of Nukem High look like an amazing piece of art. So
Yeah.
I'm going to give this 0.5 surfboards, even for trauma.
Okay.
Or switchboards. Yeah, 0.5 switchboards.
0.5 switchboards. We'll go with those ratings. And then a regular film rating.
Fuck, man, like, it's so low they can't jump up to touch bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. Rolling.
Yeah.
Easy. So I'll give this one a 1. I was.
Wait. Which
for my
regular rating?
No,
Trauma rating.
for the trauma rating.
Trauma rating.
Because of Mrs. Washington. I will give her that extra half pointer because she made me laugh. This lady did not give a fuck, and it was hilarious. I mean, she she murdered, basically like caused some bystanders to be arbitrarily murdered, and still ended the movie with her laughing and riding off into the fucking sunset or whatever. Like, kind of bit. It was like, fuck. Okay, well, she's happy, sorta. But like, as far as the movie rating, good God, this thing was a dumpster fire.
You gave it a 1 as a trauma rating.
Yeah.
And I mean,
no. I mean, I can give it less than a 0, right? Like,
negative.
yeah. Let's go with like -7. Yeah, that's a good number. It's a good non.
Wow, Roland, for both ratings, you gave it higher than. I didn't give it a number rating for the negative, but
No,
like
you
it was fucking just bad.
Yeah, it really is. It is.
Okay, so I guess we'll go with my trauma rating. My trauma rating, as far as like the other ones I've seen,
0.3.
I'm gonna give it a 2.
Oh my God.
Mind you, did watch also Redneck Zombies as the first round of this, and
Oh,
that
wow.
one is really
Yeah,
fucking bad.
That's true. But
Mind
it's
you,
still
it's got
way
some-
more amusing.
It's got
I'd
some
have to
amusing
say.
parts. Don't get me wrong, but like
got
even as
zombies.
far as like film quality is
Got
concerned,
zombies.
this was actually made on film and not VHS handheld recorder. So I give it a 2. Again, Class of Nukem High and Redneck Zombies are probably better, more amusing, and Class of Nukem High is like way better a film than this one.
Yeah.
And then as a
It's
regular
fucking
film,
hilarious.
just a 0.5.
This.
I'm gonna give it a 0.5. And again, most of these have to do with some of the lines that are in there, and I guess Mama Washington exacting her revenge on these
Come to mama.
people. That one scene where she's driving away on the motorcycle is. I laughed so hard when I saw that. It was fucking great.
really funny.
But as
you'll
far-
cheer for those last 10 minutes.
As far as the IMDb rating for this, it is a 3.6 out of 10.
Huh. Wow.
Rotten Tomatoes, get ready for this one, guys. 20%.
What the
What?
fuck?
It did better than Surf Ninjas?
Yeah,
That's
it's
nonsense.
better than
Bullshit.
Surf Ninjas, yeah. And then Google users, 75% of these people actually like this movie.
What the fuck is wrong with
Again, this is a Troma movie, so you got to take it with a certain type of perspective. It is
Pound of salt.
It is a pound of salt. It is trash cinema at one of its finest.
Butt ranch.
And again, normally we do these with Bryce. Bryce unfortunately wasn't able to make it today. So you hopefully will see him on the next one where we celebrate another Troma movie. And so we'll bring this to a close. Follow us on all the social medias at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We are also on Patreon at MoQuest Studios, and again on social media at MoQuest Studios. If you want to email us with any sort of suggestions on the type of movies or even an episode idea, email us at moquest@gmail.com or just get us on social media. You can do that as well. Subscribe on iTunes, Google Podcasts, or any other sort of Android devices that are available to you. Or you can go on our website at MoQuest Studios and subscribe to the RSS feed. And anything else to add before we close it down?
This movie was horrible. That is all.
And very racist. They're very racist.
That is all.
Daniel?
Just thanks everyone for listening to us rant about this garbage dump of a movie.
Yeah, we do appreciate anyone who actually listens to our episodes. And if we happen to know anyone who's around the area that listens to us, drop us a line, man. I mean, we'd like to hear from you. If you want to shit on us, by all means, do that too.
Trying.
You're doing the Valley shame.
There we go. Oh no! How dare
It's
us.
such a terrible indictment.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I guess we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
And don't forget, everyone, there's no room for Jesus on the new beach.